So welcome to our MOLE or MSUIT online learning environment video tutorial. So in this video, we're going to try to open our MOLE and request a course and put everything in our requested course. What I'm trying to say is the information that is necessary for our online courses. So first things first is we have to open our MOLE, or you type mole.msuit.edu.ph/moodle, and then log into your account. Okay, so assuming that this is your first time to open a course, in this portion here, you hover to courses and then request a course. So there are parts here that you need to provide necessary information, like the course full name. For example, in my case, that's JEC 106 Art Appreciation. And then the course short name is Art Up, and then the section A1-1. Under course category, you are asked to if what college or department you belong with. So in my case, that's CAS, and since there is no Department of Philosophy and Humanity as of yet, so I'll choose College of Arts and Social Sciences. And then the summary of why I opened this course. So maybe okay, so let's say this course covers art history and Philippine creative expression, things like that. And then on your reasons for wanting this course, let us say to shift to the full implementation of online modalities. So let us say that's your reason, and then you click request a course. However, in my case, since I already finished requesting the course, what I'll do next is to proceed to the approved course. So cancel. In this part, let's choose B8-2. So this is what your blank course looks like in your MOLE interface. So it is divided with topics, and then the first one is general, where you can put in your banner photo or the course how do you call it one description and things pertaining to that certain course. Okay, so the first thing that we're going to do now, if you've noticed in the topmost part, the dashboard, this one, and then your courses, this one part here, then your college and the course subject, and then the turn editing on tab. So you click this one on, and you see the general and the topic sections were all transformed into editing mode. So to add information in this section, if you notice, there are as many as 19 sections that we need not to fill in all of those. Depends on how you design your subject. In my case, there are only 4 sections. So the general part and then topic 1, 2, and 3. I call it workshop for each topic that represent uh, terms for the entire semester. So workshop 1 for the prelim, and then workshop 2 for the midterm, and then workshop 3 for the final. So to add now necessary information in each section, all you have to do is to click editing section, and there might be slight difference when you use Windows desktop or laptop, because I'm using Apple. Unfortunately, I could not use my desktop because there's no how they call it, one app to record the screen. Anyway, so this is the general section. In my case, so I'll going to move to another browser wherein my uh, other subject is already on. Okay, so this one, for example, so this is already the curated interface of your MOLE subject looks like. So this is JEC 106A1-1 Art Appreciation, while this one is JEC 106B8-2 Art Appreciation. Depends on what subject you're handling. So this is the summary of the general section, and this is how it looks like in the curated interface. Okay, so in my case, I put my banner word pakighimamat in here. You click this box custom and then type pakighimamat, and then as to the content, I already actually I prepared this one from a what Google Docs file format, and then I did was to copy paste this one to here. Okay, so at the same thing I'm going to do to fill in all the necessary information in this blank course interface. You have to copy paste no copy those information and click paste here. That's simple. And then if you've noticed, there is an image, a banner image in my how they call that one, general description part. All you need to do if you want to add an image is to click image and then browse click browse repositories. Sorry. If you opt to source your image from your Google Drive file, then click Google Drive, but in my case I get it from my computer or my flash drive. So that's the Tinalak weaving of the Tivoli, and then that's Tinalak weaving. You can type here the name of that file and then click upload file. Alright, seems that I already double click it twice, and in this interface you are asked how to position the image. Okay, so in my case I'll position it on the top of the text, and then you click this box if the image is for decorative only. Otherwise you have to fill in the description right over here if that necessitates. Then click save image. So this is how it looks like now in the edit interface, and this is how it looks like now in the curated final interface. So what we're gonna do next is to save changes, and Viola looks the same now. No? From the general, it has name Pakikimamat, and then the image and your welcome message to your students. Okay, so next in this segment is the MSUIT VMO and its core values. Oh, I think I have not opened this one, but you can find this one in your in our IIT website. So I have to, I'm sorry, I've lost my, this one. Okay, so all you need to do in order for this portion to appear exactly the same in here is to add an activity or resource. And if you've noticed that the MSCIT VMO comes from our website. Okay, so all you need to do is to click this link right here and then copy and wait. So you add an activity or resource, you click that one, and then among the choices here, so these are the entire choices of everything that might be helpful in putting up your subject or course. If you are already into putting things, so you can right away when you click the recommended, you can see the things that you usually are clicking or using. So since we're adding a link or URL, so you click URL and then you paste it in the external URL box. Wait, what happened? Oh. Copy, then paste, and then the name is, what's the name in here? The MSUIT VMO and its core values. Or you can change the name, depends on you. And then there is no description. Yeah. So all you have to do is to save, click save and return to the course. And here, the MSUIT VMO is already reflected or added. So the next thing we do is to add the announcement portion of this segment. So in our general segment, we have how many parts? The introductory part, and then follows with the VMO announcement, course help desk, course guidance policy, and course library and the needs assessment. But you can reconfigure it in the manner that suits to your desire, how your subject looks like. So to add the course help desk, or I'm sorry, the announcement is to again click this one and then what did I put in here? Okay, so announcement file. I think I did not add anything, so I can just wait. Where's the announcement activities? Okay, we can use this icon and then announcement. Okay, so general announcements. you can put here announcement, and then um, since I already embedded the file under this phrases or phrase and word, um, if you opt to embed a file in this section, all you have to do is highlight this phrase about your workshop and creativities, and then you click the link button, and then you see here, since it is already has a link embedded on it, so I need not to enter URL here or any file from my Google Drive. However, if you want to learn how, all you have to do is to browse your Google Drive. Okay, so, make sure that your Google Drive is with your My IIT account. So I saved that file in this folder. So announcement. That's workshop and what was that? About your workshop and creativities. Okay, so about workshop and creativities. So this one. So all you need to do is to click this link, and it will automatically copied in this box. Then you click select this file, and it will be embedded in this phrase. Okay, the same with the art talks. So all you have to do is to highlight and then attach a link, since it is already filled in or has an attachment in it, so it will automatically appears here when you highlight that one, and then click save and return to course. Seems that the internet is slow. What happened? Okay, so in here we already have announcement. Oh, by the way, you see, if you've noticed, the announcement here, announcements section has no cascading content like this one, because I forgot to click the display description on course page box. So if you want this one to appear just below the course help desk section or the announcement section, you have to click the box that says display description on course page. Otherwise, you have to unclick this. So check this one out. It looks like similar to this one. So it has about your workshop and creating this. Click that one and you will be redirected to the source file, in this case in my Google Drive. Okay, so next is the course guide and policy. So in my course, I added a course guide and policy for the student to be guided on how to approach the subject for the semester. And it is, if you see this one, it is in PDF file. So definitely it came from a file, which in this case here I save not from my Google Drive but from from my flash drive or from my computer. Let us check. from my flash drive. And so the banner name is course guide and policy. Course guide, yeah, it's already here. So course guide and policy. And does it has description? No, so you need not to add description. Then click save and return to course. So here you can already see that the course and guide policy is already added in this section. Then the second to the last is the course library. So again, you have to click add an active resource, and since my course library is sourced from my Google Drive, so all I need to do is to click URL, or the link. URL is a link. So what I do is to choose a link. No, then external URL. Or you can, if you already open your Google Drive, in this case I already opened mine. Where is that? Art Appreciation Repository. So this serves as my library for this course. So you double click and then get shareable link, and it will prompt and copy link. So you go back to this tab and Control V, or paste the link. So this is course library. Okay, and what is the description? The description you have to do is to copy paste, since I already done this for my previous courses. So what I'm going to do is just to copy paste the information. Okay, then click display description and save and return to course. So your course library will appear here, and when you click this one, you will be redirected to the Google Drive, or to the folder where you how they call it, when you save all the references or resources for this course. And the last portion for this segment is the needs assessment. Okay, so in my case, I made a needs assessment just to double check if my students can really, how do you call that one, access fully to this kind of platform. And since not all of them can really have full access to Mole, I also included an announcement on our SMS blast, to just inform their classmates that I had this needs assessment, and if there is no way for them to go to an internet cafe or to go online, they might contact me in my number. So this is how needs assessment looks like in the Google form. If you're not familiar with this app, there in our Google suite, there is a Google form app there, where you can create a form or survey form, So in this case, I inputs basic information and questions that is relevant to the conduct of our course. And what is good thing about Google Form, it's the system that will going to collate everything, every information that you that your student provided, and you just base from the data in your Google Form to how do you call it, to analyze, you know, the information that your students provided. So this is the Google Form that I um, already made earlier. Let's go back to this portion. So all I need to do is to copy this one and add. The Google Form can be a URL. Yeah, so you click URL, and then so that, what's the title of that? The needs assessment. Needs assessment. And then no, sorry. So this is the URL for this form. All you have to do is copy this one and paste it here. Okay, so simple as that. Then you save and return to the course, and so your needs assessment will appear exactly in this portion. So I think we have done with our first. Oh, what happened? Oh, I think I've lost. I think we're done with our first segment, which is the general overview of the course. And then next is to proceed to the sub segment. In my case, what I input here is the course description and outcomes. So this is the second segment, that looks like this when filled in. So all I need to do is to copy all of the information that I already input in here. Wait. And then click edit. So in the summary box, you just Control V or paste the content, and including this one. Click custom so you can modify the information that you want to write in this box, heading box, and click save changes. So that's how easy it is to fill in information. So it looks just the same as in this part in here. And after just before this segment, so this is the end. Okay, so another thing, what happened? What is this? Okay. Oh my god, I'm just okay. I think I've able to copy all the contents in here, but yeah, for the sake of this tutorial, let us how they call that one? Okay, so let us edit. Okay, let us edit, do some editing, because okay, so the course description and outcomes just look like this. So this is the second segment of our subject or course interface. The next is course orientation, requirements, grading scheme, and relevance. So you might create your own how they call that one, own interface or information uh, relative to your course. So in my case, I put here the course orientation requirements and grading scheme and relevance, so students can how they call that one, go back here from time to time and be guided on how to to approach the subject. So the same thing that you're going to do, all you have to do is to edit, click edit topic, and then you paste. Oh, sorry. Uh, this is the section name, and then you copy this one, this content here, and paste. And what happened? Why it's too large? Let us see. Oh, I think the font types change. Oh. Yeah, the heading should be small. Or paragraph. Much better. Huh? It's bigger. So if you want to change the font size or format of the font, you can click this box and choose among the options here. Just maybe small. Let us see. I think this is too large. I don't know what happened. 3.2. Oh, what did I do? Oh yeah. Okay, so that's small. Okay, let us see. I might wait. Okay, I think this is not the right format. So I have to delete this one and okay. So I think this is the correct format now. So yeah, that's similar format, except that if you've noticed that in this course some words were highlighted, like workshops are red, and in here it's black. So if you opt to change color, you go back to edit topic, and then in here you can select word or phrase where you can change color all you have to do is to click this brush icon, then select color of your choice, so that will change the font color of your of the information that you put in here. So let's make it red, so they will be alarmed with that number. Okay, so if you see now the color change, the same with in here. And I think we're done with this section, except for the lecture attendance, because in my approach, I'll have like I'll do one lecture presentation on the course orientation requirements, so student can have a real-time interaction, or if they wanted to raise some concern regarding of if they can uh, recommend on another way of approach to the course. So uh, it can be done in the very first part of the how they call it, the semester. So to make a lecture attendance or an attendance, all you need to do is to in your Google Suite in here. So if you notice that there is an where's the attendance? Okay, I think it's not here. Anyway, so if you want to add an attendance column, for example, if you have two lectures on this part, in this segment, or three, and that requires real-time attendance. So all you have to do is to click on add an activity or resource, and then click this option, attendance. So that's an attendance. What did we label it here? Attendance. Wait. Lecture attendance, lecture A attendance. So this is the first lecture. Lecture A attendance. Okay, and then then you click save and turn to the course. And when you click back on this portion, you will be rerouted to an attendance for the course JEC 106B-2 Art Appreciation. So you add, all you need to do is to add a session in this portion, and then in my case I clocked my first real-time lecture in September. When was that? Wait. August 2029. No. Lecture attendance. Oh, it's not August 23. That's suppose we're open on Wednesday and our regular class will resume. No, that's September 10. September, oh no, should be in session. That's September, that's 10. Yeah, because the enrollment will ends on the 8th, and so I'll give 2 days grace period before for finally meeting them for an orientation. So that's, and then in this case, so that's September 10. This is B8-2, so this might be somewhere on November, because this is the second half of, or the batch B courses. So if we begin November 2, that might be, let's check on the calendar. So that might be November 10 or maybe 13. Okay, so just send this, and then you add time. So for example, if this is TF 3 to 4:30, so you add 3 to 4:30. Or there is also another way of getting their attendance on your mole. How do you call that one? Attendance section. So if we go to our mole, like our subject handled, there is a attendance in here. So we can also just have attendance check in this application. So in this case, you need not to put in attendance within your course interface, but for the sake of learning how to put, so just continue finishing this one. Okay, create calendar event for this session, put session calculating absent reporting, and then yes, automatic marking, yes, it will mark student, allow students to record on attendance. Yeah, so they will just click the attendance when this session appears on their screen, and then add. Rotate QR code if you activate your QR code, so that would be easier. So this is how it looks like now, and we can go back to the main interface. Okay, so we already add the lecture attendance. What we're going to do next is to proceed with, what is this? Oh yeah. Our third section of our course interface. So in my case, my third section is the first workshop, or it can be module or it can be topics, depends on you. So my first workshop is about the Western art and art history in relation to Serbian, Philippine, or traditional arts. So again, all you have to do is to edit these settings, and then you change name and content description. Okay, so this was color red, and click display description on the course page if you want it to appear on your course page. So this is how it looks like now. What happened? Wait, why it looks like this is different? What happened to the Molly interface? Anyhow, okay. Um, so we're done with this. What happened? Mhm. So in this segment, I think I added activities like lecture. My first, I'm second lecture, but first lecture on workshop one. So this is lecture A, the image of man in the arts, course overview. This is a PDF copy of my lecture because I have not yet finished editing my video and the transcript of it. So in this case, I'm gonna put this up in here. I had a copy of that in my Google Drive, so all I need to do is to copy this one and then including the description and the file where the student can access to this. I'm sorry. Okay, so lecture series worship on. So yeah, I had a file from my flash drive, but they can also, or you can also opt to link a, the URL if you have it saved in your Google Drive. So in my case, I have both it in my Google Drive and in my flash drive. But anyhow, if you choose to get your source file in your flash drive, it will automatically save in your Molly interface course. So like in this one, it appears here. So all you have to do is click save and return. So this is already the interface of our first lecture. Yeah, I wonder why. That's why I made a mistake. So we have to delete this one because I wonder why it has a cascading line. I mistakenly include this segment in this portion from the course orientation requirements. It should be a different portion, which is topic 3. So I have to delete this one and redo again. That's why I'm so sorry. So that's how simple it is. When you made a mistake, all you have to do is to click edit and then delete, and the file will be automatically deleted from the interface. So yeah, so let's click topic 3. Topic 3 is the workshop 1. Click custom and then paste, including the contents or description. So your workshop 1 might be your topic 1. Like say for example, the history of philosophy or intro to literature. So it depends on you. And then click save the changes. Okay, let's do some minor editing. The intended learning outcome is a color red, or if you can choose some black, blue, green, yellow color. So in my case, I chose red. So it looks like just the same here. Okay, then under this segment is my first lecture file. So that's lecture A, yeah, this one. Okay, so I put it here. And then, yeah, short description. And then the file, since it sourced from my USB flash drive, then upload this file, save and return to course. So, I'm so sorry, I think I misclicked the display description course page box. So, very difficult if you don't have a mouse. Okay, so it appears here. And the next is the a how they call that one, a link of a video from YouTube, about Jordan Peterson's lecture on why you need art in your life. So in that case, since it is from YouTube, it should be in URL. URLs for files that you source from direct internet link like YouTube or what Google Scholar or anything like from other website. So that's so this is the description, the general name, and then this is the description. Okay, so in this case I already have it here. Oh, no, not this one. I can click anyway and I will be redirected to the link.
I was at the Modern Art
Okay.
Museum.
Okay, so enough, Jordan. Thank you. So I'll paste here the source link and click save. So that's how simple it is. By the way, this X icon here is where you can interchange if you opt to have this one put above the lecture, for example. So you can interchange this entries, this part, by clicking this cross or X icon. So, and then another video for this lecture is the El Sistema. So again, it's a URL, it comes from YouTube. So I think this was the El Sistema. So all I have to do is to copy the link, paste it in here. Then what's the title? El Sistema. El Sistema. And the description is okay. I hope I was right. Social intervention program using music as a venue, saving with as well as children out from street incidents. Okay, so you save and it appears exactly as it is. Okay, so for this segment, I add here one workshop lecture activity. My activity, I call it creativity. So all I have to do is to add I think that's a file, since, yeah, I think this is a quiz using Google Assignments. So if you click this one, you will be routed to your to there in your Google Suite. There is an Google Assignment application in there where you can how do you call it one? You can create an assignment for your students in multiple choice, and it depends on you. And then you can how they call it one, put how many points, and eventually the due date when they can submit their assignment, their task. And it will be collated by Google Assignments application, so it will be easier for you to collate the data provided by your students. So in this case, since I already made a how they call it one assignment in Google assignment application, so all I need to do is to copy this link and assignment, yeah, you click this assignment button and then assignment name, description, and then you just wait. So first we have to copy this one. What happened? Copy this one. Oh, and then copy the link and click it in here, create a link, and then what's the okay, so this is the description. The first creativity for workshop 1, follow through instruction. The instruction is embedded in here already. Okay, and you down to this portion are the how they call that one, necessary information that you need to fill in questions. So availability of your assignment, it will be available submission on September, for example, 25. Okay, so submission from, yeah, and then due date maybe until 30 or 29 September. Okay, remind me to grade by oh, so let's say 30 because the yeah 29 is the due, so remind me to grade by 30. And then submission type, online text, file submission. You can submit it on file if they also submit it through email or offline, or they can also submit it online, right directly to the Google assignment. Word limit, since I put it there that in 300 to 500, so that's 500 words. The maximum number of uploaded file 1. Maximum submission, since it's just a text, so maybe 2 MB. And then accepted file types, you need it's okay not to. Okay, so save and return. So this is your workshop 1 assignment or activity already. So this is how it looks like. So to continue, I think all you have to do is to follow the steps from workshop 1, because the cascading uh, segments or workshop 2 and workshop 3, and from time to time I'll be adding learning instructional materials within this portion. For example, I'll add a a video on my lecture which I uploaded on YouTube. So I'll click the URL link of that video or um, file from my Google Drive where I save my videos. So I might be attaching file or folder where I save that video lecture. So it's up to you. I hope that this tutorial is can help you somehow. And if you've noticed, as you go scroll down, there are a lot of how they call it one unused as segment. So you can either no, you can if you feel that you no longer use this one, like in my case, I already have 4 segments, so I can click the edit and delete the topic. However, if you prepare a segment more than 20, so you can click the add topics and it will just appear, and up to you to choose how many topics or sections added um, other than the already given as in the template. So for example, if you add 5, okay, so and it will, you know, cascade down to your interface. So yeah, thank you so much. If you have other concern, you can just message me, or you can refer to the manual that the Micel emailed to us. Thank you so much, and oh, it's already 2 o'clock, 2:32 in the morning. So yeah, thank you so much for staying this far.